to talk about my therapy experience for the Mental Health Awareness May 2024. My name is Marissa. I make a variety of diamond art content. Go ahead and take a look if that piques your curiosity and consider liking and subscribing by chance, maybe. Let's just move right into the story. Yes, I went to therapy for depression. After I had my daughter, she's 9 now, I was sad and I didn't really understand why. I didn't fully understand what postpartum depression was. I knew of baby blues though, so I just assumed it was taking longer for that to go away. So it was never fully addressed. Like looking back on it now, I know I had postpartum depression, but it kind of leveled out a little bit. I can't say I was ever the same, but I don't think you're ever the same after having children to begin with. But I couldn't figure out a new normal and my emotions were all over the place. My processing was just either overreactive or not at all. Feeling numb to certain things, excited, feeling like I was living life in a fog. And my husband had voiced concerns about it. No, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. And then I kind of did like the mommy group thing for a while, walked around, and kind of, I guess in a way, got myself out of it some without realizing that's what I was doing. I don't think it ever fully went away. In my opinion, depression is something you struggle with for the rest of your life. Once you kind of have it already, I could be wrong about that. I'm not an expert. I'm just a lady on the internet giving my thoughts, opinions, and my experiences. So let's just go from there and say that I think I leveled out some. Then me and my husband got pregnant again, and trigger warning, I lost the baby. The baby had a mass growing on his head and his back, and we had to do the unfortunate thing and go through a D&C once the baby had passed away in my belly. That was definitely an escalation, I think, of my depression. Once again, I didn't get looked at or talked to by any mental health professionals at this point. I just kind of survived after that. I can't say I was living life, but I can't say that I wasn't living life. You know, I had my baby girl and life was just what it was. I had no idea I was going to bring that up. I'm sorry if that was too much for you, but it's part of my story. So I kind of just from there was driven. I need another baby. I wanted 2. I grew up with my mom as a only child. I always wanted to have siblings. I had step siblings, of course. We were a blended family, but it's not the same. I don't even talk to them anymore, which is really sad. Anyways, we got pregnant again. Yay! And now I had a little boy. And the birth was way different than my daughter's. Maybe someday I could do like a birth stories and talk about like the differences. But I once again thought I had baby blues, and it wasn't. It just kept going and going and going. I didn't understand why at times I'd be super ecstatic and whatnot and actually feel the emotions of happiness and excitement, but it was also mixed with a majority of the time living life in that fog that I didn't realize was a contribution of depression. So this is when it kind of gets a little bit more difficult because I had my husband sit me down and be like, hey, I'm here for everything, you know, I'm with you 100% of the way. I don't think you're happy. I don't think, you know, it's been a while since we've had our son. I don't think that this is baby blues, because I was very open with him. He kind of knew a little bit about baby blues from our daughter and our experience with that. And I should have addressed it then, but you know, I didn't. And he was like, I don't think this is baby blues. I don't think that this is normal. And he was so nice and understanding and had information to go alongside with his concerns. And, you know, of course, he talked to his mother about it and whatnot. And he's like, I think we need to find a way to get you not back to, I don't think anybody ever goes back to being normal after having kids. I think you need to experience a new normal, a new way of processing, and a new way of living, because your whole life had changed, not only physically, but emotionally and mentally too. You have to grow in so many aspects in becoming a parent that you don't ever have like a new normal. Or you don't ever have like that old normal. You'll never have that again, and that's fine. It is a little bit of an adjustment, but it's totally fine and so amazing. But I wasn't adjusting well. And after our conversations, we'd had multiple, I had decided to get into therapy. Therapy was by far the best choice I have ever made in my entire life. Hands down, 100% suggest anyone and everyone, whether you think you're 100% fine or you're not, to go into therapy and work through some things. Everybody has things to work through. Everybody. It's not just a postpartum depression thing. That's just my experience, but I don't know. I'm not going to go down that tangent. You need to do what's best for you, and only you know that for yourself. I just think that anyone and everyone can benefit from it if they find the right therapist. Now, my therapist was actually new. I was part of his, was it internship or what is it when they first start talking with clients or getting their own clients after they graduate? It was his first round, and honestly, I think with his way of working through things, because he had bright, new, shiny ideas and ways of working it that had been approved through his employment. But I think that, and you know, him being totally open about it, as well as me being able to work through everything, just, it was the perfect combination. So I didn't have to worry about finding a new therapist. The whole process is scary in general. I had to go through my insurance. I had to, you know, find the company. I did kind of interview a few therapists through the process. Like you talk to different people throughout it, and you kind of choose who your therapist, at least from what I went through. And from there, so I guess that's why I didn't have to like be like, oh, I guess you're not working for me, because I had met a few already, and he was the one that I kind of was able to talk about more. And anyways, talk about life with more. Anyways, going off on tangents. Anyways, I was able to talk to him about, you know, previous things and whatnot, about how I feel like baby blues never really went away each time. Between me and my husband, the conversation and research, we kind of self-diagnosed and just kind of wanted to talk to a therapist and see if it was still a potential thing that it was, because at this point, my son was 3. Yeah, he's almost 6 now. He was 3 at this point, and I was still struggling. So he was like, this is not postpartum depression anymore. It's gone through and turned into more of a clinical depression. It is something that I would most likely struggle with for the rest of my life, but he did successfully teach me better coping skills and realize and acknowledge when I am going through it or slipping into the depression again. And I went to therapy for well over a year, and it was once a week, and then it did go to once every 2 weeks, and then for a while it was once a week just for some maintenance to see how I was doing. And I mean, we went through everything. We went through traumas of my past. We went through talking about my relationship, and with my husband, me and my husband had so much conversation and talking and working together and learning the new me as an individual, me acknowledging that my self-worth is still there if I don't work as much. Because my big hang up was I'm not able to work as much as I did. I have another story time of how I started working at 14. Most of my life I ended up with 3 jobs, and I would just work, and I put my whole value in myself on working. I didn't see value in myself if I wasn't working, so it took a long time to work through that and realize that I am still working, just in a different way. And it is labor intensive, and it's hard. I have a lot more on my plate than just worrying about me and finances, you know? Like, I had to accept that I am in a partnership. It is not just about me and surviving. We are beyond that. I am living and thriving now. And I don't know why I took birth as this survival mode of I can't do the things I'm used to, and took value away from myself and my self-worth and all of that. And my husband, the super trooper he was, he helped me so much getting through it. So between him and my therapist working together, I am thriving. And I've said it before, and I will keep saying it again. I can now cope. Now, I did graduate therapy, and I was scared. I was terrified. I was like, what do you mean we won't see you anymore? Like, I don't know. And he was like, therapy is something you want to work towards getting out of and being able to cope on your own healthfully. And I'm doing that. I'm beyond, obviously, that terrified stage. It's been over a year. And I am always welcome to go back. Like, I have the same insurance, and I have ways to, you know, contact him. And I'm still in the system to where if I need like a very quick emergency maintenance session, it's there, it's available. And honestly, I haven't had to use it yet. I have definitely learned to nurture myself more and self-care and learn about hobbies. Like, he encouraged me to write my books and learn about writing my own stories and creating and gathering a community and whatnot. And I did that. I've written multiple books. I actually help run author community Facebook groups. I admin a group that's about 9,000 people now and love everything about it. Now, I am on a break. I did have to, you know, be like, hey, I took it way too fast, way too far, and burned myself out because I read well over 300 books that same year while also reading other people's manuscripts and doing critical feedbacks and stuff like that. So I just worded myself out, and my community that I helped build is 100% there for me. They support me and know, and they're like, hey, well, when you're ready, come back. So I have a tentative comeback date while I work on other hobbies that don't have to do with words, aka diamond painting. And I'm excited to share my writing journey with you guys too. It is another topic that is very common. I've seen it on a ton of different other YouTube pages of, hey, I'm reading this book too in WIP and chats. And I feel like I can really talk about my other adventures in life with this diamond community as well. So I don't think I would have been able to come to these understandings without therapy in my past. Like, my coping and my understanding and just really learning myself again and my value and my expectations and accepting that it is okay to pause and take a break for a minute. I don't have to run and hustle 24/7. A happy mom is a happy life, and a happy kids is a happy mom, and a happy mom and happy husband is a happy family, you know? So it really is that teamwork and value of trying to bring the best out in each other. Like, I don't have to hold everything on my shoulders. My husband doesn't have to hold everything on his shoulders. And it took so much. It took a year of consistent working on it to do it. And I'm still, I'll be honest, I am still working on it. I still have bad days. I still have great days. But I am so much more even-keeled now than I was prior. It has literally changed my life for the better because I have the mental capacity and tools to get through and cope in such a healthier manner instead of trying to run myself ragged to the point I just check out and I just don't want to do anything. And literally the only thing I can handle is keeping my kids alive and doing, you know, nothing for myself and just giving and giving and giving and giving and making sure my family's surviving and thriving. Not even just surviving, making sure my family's thriving while I drown. And I learned I can't do that. I have to thrive along with my family. I have to practice self-care. I have to communicate and socialize. I have to have something for myself. And that's what I've been building these last couple years. And I slowly realized I can add more. I can stop. I can take breaks. I can do things like make videos. I've been playing with making videos on and off for the last 9 years. And honestly, this bout has been the most fun, relaxing part of my weeks is just creating these little videos while still talking to my writing community and watching my family thrive and helping my kids with their homework and prepare for summer vacation. And I don't have the normal stress that I used to have. I don't have that fear of I'm gonna spiral and have to put on a facade. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm a whole new person. I'm the same person with the same values I've had before, but I'm a whole new person in the way that I'm able to cope and actually genuinely enjoy life with my family. I don't feel like an outsider watching in and seeing them be happy and thrive to where I'm putting a laugh on. Like it's not fake anymore. Not that it was fake before. Like I felt joy and I felt happiness, but the happiness was directed, I'm happy for them, not I'm happy with them. I don't know if that makes sense. I sound like a terrible mom. But it was more of, I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, it's been an amazing experience, and I'm glad that I graduated. I'm glad that I've learned so much. So 5 out of 5, I recommend 100%, and I truly believe anyone and everyone can benefit from a therapist, you know? So if you're struggling at all, or if you feel like you're not 100% happy or unable to cope with life around you, or you feel like everyone's moving forward except for you, seek out help. Seek out professional help. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It is so common for you to not feel 100% all the time. You know, it doesn't mean something's wrong with you, but it just means you need different tools and different avenues on how you can cope. So there's everything from medication to just consistent therapy, building communities, to even getting new hobbies. Like writing a book made me happy, and it helped, and it gave me a way to process my energy and be creative. But diamond painting gives me a chance to kind of stop, relax, talk about things, process. You know, when I'm overstimulated, this really gets me to hone in and kind of stop that. Like, yes, this is a stimulating thing. It's tedious, but there's no surprises. I can concentrate on multiple things at the same time without it overstimulating. I'm able to think things through with the same monotonous movements over and over again. The sound is soothing. The texture and the textile of this is just amazing to me. And it feels good. So this was a great addition to me working on myself and my hobbies, you know? And I think that this community is very open about mental health and accepting of it. So I actually felt safe enough to be able to share this story. So thank you. And I really want to keep this like a happier note. Like, yes, I did have some struggles, but overall, I am, like I've said, thriving and loving life and thoroughly enjoying it. And this is the longest period of time I've consistently just been on top of life and feeling on top of the world and processing and coping and not drowning and dwelling on my bad days. If I had one bad day, it would spiral into weeks of just over worrying, high anxiety, doubt, self-doubt, you know, worth problems and stuff like that. And now, no, I know what I need to do and understand what's happening. And I think that's the biggest part. And the only way I could get through that is with a professional. So if you liked this video, like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope it brought something to you. Have a beautiful day and bye.